awesome.
He did a really good job this evening, and I thought he did really good in the first debate. In the second debate, I thought he was meh. Tonight, he did a really, really good job. I really do. What do you think of Rand Paul in the time that you got a chance to see it? What did you think of Rand's performance?
I like Rand. That's the thing. I want Rand to do well. And I agree with him, but I'm not like when Ted Cruz was like, Social Security and flat tax, and we're going to do this. And I'm like, yeah! And then Rand Paul's like, we're spending too much money. I'm like, yeah.
The thing, this is 3 debates in a row in which I've been disappointed. I've been disappointed in his performance.
He's awesome. He's a doctor. He does all these eye surgeries for free in third world countries. I mean, there's a lot of wonderful things about Rand Paul that I like him as a person. I think he would be a great leader, maybe. But the whole foreign policy piece, but again, do we want to police the world? I mean, it's just kind of, I'm not inspired, and I want to be inspired. I
haven't been inspired by him at all in any debate, and I'm sick and tired of this crap with Rand Paul, and I'm going to say this. I wrote this in, caps in my dork spreadsheet here. I am sick and tired of him ripping on the House of Representatives, and granted, they deserve to be ripped on. When John Boehner, when Rand Paul was critical of the debt ceiling, and which he's right in that, and he's critical of John Boehner and Paul Ryan essentially going to be the same thing, business as usual in the House, nothing's going to change. I cannot get past the fact, Rand, that you French kiss Mitch McConnell on a daily basis in the Senate. I can't get past it. And it pisses me off when you go after other Republicans in your party, but then you smooch up to the Crypt Keeper, the turtle himself, and that seems to be okay. It just pisses me off. I can't, it makes me so mad when he talks about the Washington machine. You kiss the ass of the Washington machine. Stop it. But it's just, I'm just sick and tired of it. It really makes me mad. Rand, I'm done with you. You're dead to me. I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of it. I want to like you, Rand, but right now you're dead to me. Sorry. Done. Bye. See you later.
I agree, and I just think, I wish because I love his ideas on his domestic ideas with school choice and helping inner city, but not a handout, but a hand up, and there's a lot of things that he does well, and his ideas are good, but I just,
But you can't attack people for being part of the machine and then kiss the ass of the machine.
No, and
you just can't do it.
No, I agree.
It's just disingenuous, and I see through it, Rand, and it's BS. Yeah. On a lighter note, I want to talk about something that I'm really excited about, Sam, and I figured I'd just share this with you on the air. Uh-huh. We are getting feedback in regards to how well our show is doing. And those of you in the chat, it's been amazing. So many people are listening for the first time. So many people are joining and listening to our program. The podcast listens have been outstanding. We're creating more sponsorships. We're raising funds like ever before. It's just been great. And
I love these people.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's really good. So that's great news. And it's such good news that I wanted to share this with you. And I figured I'd just do this on the air,
Sure, be honest. Transparency is good.
Things are going so well. We're going to cut our budget of the show and Politainment as a whole by 40%. But please know that is a good thing.
Explain to me how this works. So
we're going to do the same strategy Jeb Bush did. We're going to be kicking ass like we are, but we're going to cut our budget by 40% because that's what winners do.
Boy, he looked like crap tonight, didn't he?
He was awful. And, of course, I'm talking in jest, but that's what's so funny about it is, Jeb Bush comes out and he's like, hey, look, things are fine. What are you talking about? I mean, we're doing great. I'm my own man. Things are going to be good. We got a lot of support. We're raising a lot of money, but we're just going to cut everything by 40%. And we're going to let go of a lot of our campaign staff. But, hey, things are doing well.
He looked like an angry, bitchy old woman on that stage.
Yeah,
tonight.
He was bad tonight, and he needed tonight, really, and he didn't do anything with it. He didn't do anything with it, and I think it just makes him worse.
It was interesting because he starts going after Rubio, and Rubio pointed out, he said, you know what? I've defended you, and you've defended me. He says, but now you're going after me because we want the same job.
Right.
I was like, oh, damn.
No, absolutely.
So good.
Absolutely.
It was so good. I thought Jeb was awful.
Yeah, and when he was asked in the beginning, like, what's your weakness? And he talked about, like,
Trump has so gotten to him, you can tell,
that
he cannot even be a professional in a debate.
And I think that Bush talks about in his, when he's asked his weakness, which was a terrible opening question, by the way.
That's what they wanted to do. They wanted to
make and he's like, well, I guess my weakness is I fail to look at things as negatively as other people. We're on the brink of greatness here. And I'm going, you are running as a Republican to replace Obama. No offense, you don't run on sunshine and lollipops, Jeb. But then the next question, he's like, look, we got 6 million people in poverty, more so than we did when Obama took office. What are you talking about? So we're on the brink of greatness, and then you're talking about how we have 6 million people more in poverty the next time you're asked to speak.
But here's the thing. I think what Jeb was trying to do, and the only people who would know what Jeb was trying to do are people like me, dorks, who pay attention to this stuff like I do. Jeb was like, Trump is crapping on the country, and I'm tired of it. I'm not going to run my campaign on crapping on the country. I'm going to say things are going to be better. We're going to work hard. Our country has always been great. Because there's like two extremes here. You do have Trump, who's like, Mexico has better leaders than we do, which really pissed me off when he said that. He's always talking about how bad things are so that when he is president, he can fix everything because he's magical. And that was kind of funny from one of the moderators. But what Jeb is trying to do is he's trying to say, look, America's a great country, and we have problems and we can fix them. But Jeb is so frazzled by Trump that Jeb can't really get that across. And the only people who are like, I get what you're saying, Jeb, are idiots like me who pay attention to this crap and we're like, yeah, Trump is really doing that. He was making digs at Trump without doing it. And at least Trump had the balls, I'm going to say it again, to go at Kasich and say what he said. It wasn't a sideways, nonsense that Jeb was doing. And he did it at Rubio, too, and when Rubio called him out. But that's what the moderators were trying to do. They were trying to create a cage match effect between the candidates to make it good TV.
It was despicable about how bad it was. But no, you're absolutely right. I think Bush is toast. I think he's done. It's done. Clear that he's done. Really quick, because I want to wrap things up before we get into our Halloween spectacular here.
Sure.
John Kasich was the absolute penis of the night. Just a jackass. The entire time, I was more mad at him than anybody else on the stage. Yes, including Rand Paul. He's like, my weakness is, well, I don't really care your question. Listen, we got candidates who are scaring old people. Well, that's because old people deserve to know the truth. And we keep, his marijuana law, or his answer was awful on that. His default answer is, I've spent lots of time doing this, and this. Newsflash, John. Look at the people leading the polls. They're not career politicians like you. Give it up, no. John. Go away now, please. Let Bobby Jindal actually move up to the big table, because he should be. And you can go to the little kids' table and be your little jackass self and go back to Ohio where you came from, because I can't stand you and you need to get off my television.
And I'm sorry, but if you're going to run for president, get a facelift if you look that bad.
Oh, God.
I understand, it's like not the manly thing to do, but his crap on his face flops around so much when he talks. I just want to get like little clothespins and pin it back. He needs to take care of his appearance. Look, we all make fun of Trump's hair, but Trump is impeccable. We all make fun of Jeb. Jeb is impeccable. Kasich looks like he came off of out of the streets or something and put a suit on and he's debating. He's got to take care of himself. He just looks like a schmuck.
He's awful. Well, but we can all do him a favor and just go away. Now, please go away. Mike Huckabee got no airtime whatsoever.
No one noticed.
And he needs to stop with the analogies. It seems like every time he talks, he's like, look, that's like this. It's like a one-legged chicken who's blindfolded and covered in maple syrup. That's what the Fed is. It's like, what are you talking about, Mike?
He's always in the pulpit. He's always given a homily,
Yeah, It's awful.
And he was trying to appeal to his base. His base is grandma at 70 years old. That's his base.
And his base is 3%. Congratulations. Chris Christie Cream, once again, did pretty well.
He did fine.
I think he did okay. And I think his criticism of Obama on the police, outstanding. Yeah. Outstanding job. I think Ben Carson was sleepy once again. But here's my thoughts, and I want your opinions on this. He hasn't been good in any of the debates, in my opinion. But yet,
he's had one good line.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, he hasn't been good, but yet it hasn't stopped him, A, raising $20 million in the last quarter, which is tremendous. B, it hasn't stopped him from surging in the polls. So I guess the question we really need to ask ourselves is how damn important are these debates anyway? Because at least when it comes down to the support of Ben Carson, if you are supporting Ben Carson because of his amazing speeches and his amazing way that he conducts himself in a debate, that just ain't happening. So, I don't understand it. I think that whether, the lady who asked him a question in regards to this 10% tax, he's like, well, no, it's actually closer to 15%. What was it, closer to 15 or is it 15? What is it?
There's just, I think that there's something very likable about Ben Carson. There's something very human about him and approachable about him. But he's never been my favorite guy. He's always been kind of in the middle or towards, he's been okay, but he doesn't inspire me. I would not feel comfortable with him going toe-to-toe with Putin. There's something about him that inspires people, but it's not being a leader of a country. And these debates, I can't understand him. I want him to hurry up and get on with it. And every time he answers a question, I get nervous because I'm afraid of what's going to come out of his mouth.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Real quick, Carly Fiorina, I thought she was good once again.
She's badass.
I love how the left loves to say, hey, look, Carly, you were in charge of HP, and just so you know, the stocks performed really poorly when you were the CEO. Since when are the left concerned about how well Wall Street's doing?
Never.
Like, they hate Wall Street. The idea of shareholders making any money at all is the worst idea of all time, and it's crony capitalism at its best, but yet they're quick to point out, Carly, those stocks, let me tell you. So what happens if the stocks perform well and a bunch of rich fat cats made a lot of money under Carly? What would they say then?
They're clueless about how business works, and this is when you can tell, because if you have ever seen any kind of tech company, she came in and she did what she had to do. It was not pretty. But they always talk about the 30,000 jobs they lost, not the 80,000 jobs she saved. It's always a way of tearing her down. And I think it's really a sideways bullshit thing from the left because they're always like, women should be recognized for being leaders. And she was a real leader, and she did what had to be done, and she survived that whole tech implosion. HP survived. Gateway and the others, they didn't survive it. The company came back and still exists, and no one gives her credit for that. And I think it's really disingenuous of the left to attack her because she did something that if it had been a man who done that, it would not be anything they would use against him in this. But they're going to use it against her because she's a woman, and they have to tear her down. And
last but not least, the guy who won the debate and has won, in my opinion, the other two, Marco Rubio. I don't care what anyone says. The guy was fantastic tonight.
Oh, he's always good. I've never seen him in a debate where I'm like, He always makes me proud of my country. He gets me excited about getting out there and working. He gets people motivated. There's something about him that is great. But what pisses me off about this whole thing with him is no matter how great he is, there are these people out there, well, he was a part of the Eightful Eight. I'm like, you know what? You'll forgive Trump for basically saying, kill a baby when it's born because I'm that pro-abortion, but you won't give Rubio a break for being a dumb young senator who did something stupid and figured out it was wrong. That's what drives me crazy. Rubio is going to have a really hard time, even if he's wonderful, convincing those idiots who are, well, he's for amnesty and he's going to flood us with Mexicans. That is what he has to go up against.
I just think that when I envision a Republican candidate going up against anybody on the left, Yeah, if you put Marco Rubio in a debate with those folks, it's over because
he destroys them.
He will absolutely, in an articulate way, destroy them in every single way. And when you look at the Sun Sentinel attack, in which he was asked that question, he answered that better than anybody. His answer back to Bush in regards to him being a part-time senator, fantastic.
Perfect. Yeah.
His vocational education answer, he's the only one who talks about this. I will say, in what I do for a living, one of the questions or one of the things I get a lot from a lot of my clients is they have a hard time finding qualified people to do the job they need them to do. Because no one in this country actually wants to go to vocational school. They either don't want to go to school